As protests continue to rage in Iran, the support for these protesters continues to grow. The protesters gathered in cities around the world in recent days in a show of support with women in Iran. The Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau led a march of activists protesting against the Iranian government. These protesters stood as part of a worldwide human chain, standing in solidarity with the activists inside Iran.
We cry not only for Mahsa Amini and all she represented as a potential and as a future. We cry for every young woman, mother and grandmother who has stepped forward to stand with Mahsa and been cut down by this regime. We stand as Canadians. We stand as citizens of the world to say enough is enough. This has to stop.
Meanwhile, in South Africa, the demonstrators took to the streets of Cape Town in solidarity with the Iranians. The women out there cut their hair, which has become an international gesture against the Iranian authorities.
And so a very big part of the reason we're also here today is because the President of the Islamic Republic will be visiting South Africa now in November, and we are calling on our President Cyril Ramaphosa to take a stand and to denounce the actions of the regime.
Hundreds of people also gathered in Paris to support the protest movement in Iran. These protesters held images of who were targeted by the Iranian government. They also held posters and raised slogans saying the end of the regime. The Iranian government has repeatedly alleged that foreign powers have orchestrated these demonstrations worldwide.
Parce qu'en fait, ce qui se passe en Iran, c'est très important. On veut reprendre notre pays. C'est pour la liberté des femmes, des hommes, tout le monde. Du coup, on veut gagner cette révolution et on veut plus la République islamique en Iran. Du coup, on continue à protester, on continue à manifester jusqu'à ce qu'on gagne.
Les Iraniens sont en train de se unir, c'est la première fois dans l'histoire qu'on est aussi unis que maintenant. On va continuer à s'unir encore de plus en plus, on va continuer à manifester, les manifestations vont finir par payer. Aujourd'hui, c'est la solution.
Meanwhile, hundreds of people also gathered in Rome. They carried photos of Mahsa Amini, a 22-year-old Kurdish Iranian woman who died in custody last month. Amini died in police custody 3 days after being arrested for allegedly not wearing the compulsory hijab properly. The protesters, among them both Iranians and Italians, gathered in the square in the country and they chanted "Women, Life and Freedom."
We are not fighting for ourselves, we are fighting for the whole Middle East, we are fighting for the whole world. It's not a normal government at all. But they have a huge propaganda all around the world. They try to normalize everything. They try to convince people around the world that this mandatory hijab is our culture. People are chose it by themselves. No, it's not. It's a big lie.
We are trying to say with loud voices to the also Western governments that we don't want this regime anymore, and they need to help Iranian people to actually pass from this regime and get to the democracy.
I wanted to come help the situation in Iran because my family, all my friends are there. And I just wanted to be a part, to do what I owe to my country, you know.
There were similar scenes in the German capital too, where thousands gathered in Berlin to show solidarity with the anti-government protesters in Iran. The participants held up Iranian flags and signs criticizing the leaders in Iran. Many with the tagline "Women, Life and Freedom" in both English and German.
شرایط
Meanwhile, a few hundred protesters gathered in Tel Aviv to express their support and solidarity with the ongoing anti-government protest movement in Iran. The demonstrators displayed the Israeli and the former Iranian flags as well as photos of Mahsa Amini.
כל שיש באיראן, הנשים באיראן שמדוכאות, כל מה שקורה זו מטרה משותפת.
And it's really horrible, the situation there and everything that is happening there is horrible, and we just want to support them and to let them know that we are here and we're supporting them and we hear them, we see them. They're not alone. The whole world wants this to end.
That the Israeli people are not against the Iranian people. Israel is not against the Iranian people. We are against the Iranian regime. The Iranian regime that terrorizes everyone, not only the Middle East, not only Israel, but also their own people. And this is something that we need to stand with the Iranian people against that awful regime.